I guess we should go ahead and start. People are on the edge of their seats waiting. Look at this. I got this for my birthday from Tiago. I hate that every time I click into Clair Obscur, it does this. There we go. Okay, so let me tell you something. Why is what not pink? What is what? His name? The controller? Oh! They didn't have pink option. This was a brand that he has. And he said white, black, or purple, I think. And then I chose white. Because purple... I guess I do have purple here. In my mind, purple is not part of my color scheme. But... Oh, hello! Thank you, thank you. Oh my god, is it fine in you guys? Maybe it's too loud in my own ears. Thank you, thank you. Feel free. Lurking is so welcome, as usual. Alright. So much of this stream, this first initial stream, is going to be me figuring my shit out. Remembering what all... Yeah, no, I don't remember. I remember the story bits, I'm pretty sure. Don't remember the other stuff. Also, ads are about to start. I'm very worried I lost all my timings. I don't know. My parrying timing, you know? Is that the last time I played? Alright. Someone get this man a sub. I'm drinking this like this is a product placement. Like, it's not. I wish. Well, I don't know. I do wish I would get money, but I don't know if I wish I was shilling a Coca-Cola product. Alright, so we have this CL, which is a girl that I will cosplay one day. Sprite plus tea. That does sound good. I have been trying to remember or try to be... I need to try to be better about like eating or drinking slightly healthier options. I do have like an antioxidant juice mix. I just like pomegranate like mix juices. I bet that would taste really good if I put a little bit inside the Sprite, huh? Maybe I wait until I drink a little bit more and then I put some pomegranate juice in. Oof. Alright, so... Thankfully, I guess this is probably a decently good spot to be for me not remembering how to play the game. Right? Can I go back and do trial fights with these suckers, these boys, these gestrels? Or is that already done? We can't practice anymore. See, because I remember. Yes. Okay, can we fight still? Can I? Also, let me... Oh, hello! Hi! Thank you so much for the follow! I appreciate you. We are... Don't call me a patate! We have definitely listened to this. Okay. So, let me also let me know if the audio of the game is too low for you guys. Because the audio in my ear is different than it is for you guys. So, let me know. Oh, thank you so much! Hello! Momo is quite the whole thing. So, very understandable. Just a passing by. Thank you, thank you. Oh, shoot, my boy. You big, strong boy. Okay, so, what I remember, we are in the Justral Village, and we, beat different levels of gestural, these guys, these like fighters in the ring. And then I think CL was like the last person we fought or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly how we acquired her, but I just remember she was acquired at the end of the little trials that we did. Do I remember why we're here? No. Yes, we do. We have our girl CL. Like I said, I don't remember exactly why. Oh. Ooh, there's... I'm not sure this is the same exact... Oh. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I accidentally pulled up stuff I didn't mean to. Okay. Oh, I didn't... Ah. How do I... Go back to game. Back to game. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Clicked the wrong button. Pulled up a whole thing. Okay, so... Why is it so dark? Make it lighter. I have that. Oh, I guess we already set up her pictos and skills, too. Hell yeah. Oh, hello! Eehehehe. What's she doing with her hand? We have a trebuchet. Does this help anything? I am... Oh, hello, Glitch. In this... I just got CL. And then this is my loadout. Didn't I... Wasn't there something about her weapon that I think Tiago told me? Or was this the right one? Is this a thing? That he was... I want... Ooh. I feel like there was something about that. She's so baby. Look at how... Like, when the camera moves. It's so eensy beensy. She's so baby. So small. Alright. I'm gonna relearn how to do it. Do all of this. Because I think it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, right. The one that's... Yes. I'm trying to see if I can finish it by Friday. But a lot of the other days I'll be able to stream. I'll start stream sooner. I'll start it earlier. Correct. I do know all of those things. I do know all of those things. Hello, thank you. Like I said, I remember everything. I remember pretty much most of like the main story beats. And I remember, actually I remember like a lot of the story beats. But I do not recall, it's more I'm worried about my fighting. Cause I really was getting it down. I was getting the timing with the parrying and like figuring out all of the ways that I wanted to like make everything work together in terms of my like pictos and what's the other word? Luminas? Yeah, my skills, pictos, luminas, all that sort of stuff. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think I already have... Sherry's got some fancy thing, right? This is the one? I have it. See, look. Fancy. It's got, like, runes on it and stuff. So, and I feel like... We were here more just because we had talked to that little gestural guy outside of the weird house that had the weird creepy but cool guy that I was calling him Withers because that was what it was. And he gave me Withers vibes. Is Golgra Withers? Or Golgra the little baby? Or is Golgra the big one at the outside? Because I know I do remember all of these things. Is this the front? This feels like a front. Inside. Which tent? In here? Okay. Sorry. There's a little bit of a thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because this one's got titties, right? And I was confused because I thought they were kind of like like, you know, they're all like non-binary essentially. So she's the first female one that we've met, and then I was like really like it was messing with my brain. Okay. SKA. I do know SKA. Why is SKA important? Provoke Golgra to a duel. Okay, so I'm guessing I'm supposed to choose my L. Because she's got this fancy weapon that you guys wanted me to get. Anyone? She's actually got the highest everything, so we're gonna choose our girl. Oh, I have to hold it. My bad. Okay, set a bit of boba. Okay. What the fuck? I was like, that's crazy. Am I not supposed to say anything else? That's all you wanted me to do is to die? Just get one shot? Y'all crazy. I did try to block it. I just didn't know what buttons. But I hit a button thinking maybe like something will have woken inside of me. Let me tell you, what the fuck is up with this guy? Is this an empty body? I'm telling you, why are these ones just sitting here looking at mirrors? I am just not tonight. That makes sense. And these ones don't have any paint on them. These ones are... I don't know. I have so many theories. Or not so many theories. I do also remember my theories vaguely about the gestrels. That they're human souls... Gotta burp. They're human souls that were gommaged. See, I remember all the words. It's not a fully fleshed out theory, but they're like reincarnated back into gestrels over and over until they like achieve something, and I'm not sure what the achievement is to be. And they're also all paintbrushes. So like gommage, and it's like a painting, and then the lady is a paintress, you know? So are they her pawns? You like giving your life to the paintress to hold back some entity? No one confirm anything. I just speak out loud. I just let you know all the things that I think and I remember. These are all your theories. Yes, they are indeed. I assume I already did all of this, right? 3 points available. I didn't do this. I guess I did. She doesn't have any points. 1 point. Like the UI of it is quite nice. Okay. Now I go back out to the little... Oh, wait. Is this our boy? Or is this... No, there's another child. See, in my last life, I was all muscle, but now I'm only 13.2 hours old, and I have to build myself up all over again. And how do they get bigger? Do they grow? What's on the inside? They look like they're mechanical. So do they replace their parts or something? Like, if you beat another one, do you, like, take parts of them? Or do you take their body? You swap bodies? Like... And, like, 13 hours old. See? See? There's some funky stuff going on there. Petanque. Back at camp. All right. Where's Withers? Oh, let me actually... Also, music. Go blue. This looks crazy on camera. Something about the way my shadow. My isolation's pretty good.
Noko's quite obsessed with your arm. Your apprentices would be extremely proud knowing a Gestrel loves their work.
Yeah, they'd be insanely excited.
Well, they did a great job designing your arm. It was quite a creative assignment you gave them.
Well, when life gives you lemons.
Losing an arm is quite a lemon.
Yeah, it's not lemonade.
How'd he lose his arm? Have we learned that yet? Or no? I don't remember.
I still can't believe it. I lost hope after a while, but you all survived.
What was your plan if we hadn't? Be a Gestrel champion until your Gamage?
Well, it was a lot of fun, so yeah, maybe.
Do they go mage out here? How do they know if they go mage out here? You know, that's always what I'm curious about. Like, is it just on on the island of Billy that they go mage? Because there was that old guy. So I feel like maybe out here you don't go mage. Go mage. Why is it so fucking dark? Withers! Hello. Oh, curator, that's what his name is. Can I do this? Can I even... Oh, shit. Can I upgrade these? It says upgrade weapon. Required materials. I have 2 of those. Should I... Because this one you guys were like, ah, this one's a good one. Yeah? Upgrade. Oh. Bing! Do we do it again? How many times? Oh. It only requires 2. Okay, okay. We'll just do 2 for now. We'll check on the other ones. Is the level 4. Oh my god, she got a lot at level 4. Level 7, level 5. I feel like we should do something with her. I guess I don't know because, wait. 126, 120. Hers is 257. So don't trust me, but Medallion is great for my L because it starts you in Virtuoso stance, which gives you 200% damage until you change stances. Yeah. Right, I do remember the stances. I just have to remember what all, you know, yeah. The whole thing. I think it'll probably come back quite quickly too. It's all there. Let me tell y'all something. My eczema has been acting up, so I have like a bunch of like dry skin on my arm that's getting itchy, so just don't mind me when I just have to talk for a little bit and then scratch my arm. All right. But are there any of these other ones? Because I feel like they are kind of weak in terms of their power levels here. But I also don't know if these are like the better of. So that one's 55. Why? Why am I on this one if this one's stronger? Oh my god, that really changes. What the hell? Did I already upgrade this one? Is that why? Is there a way to know? Oh, it's just like literally because I've leveled it. Okay. Plus 1 AP when stains are consumed. That sounds pretty good. I remember vaguely some of her stain things. Base attack generates 2 random stains. Okay, that's cool too. That's a level 20 though. Should I be precious with these, the polished, these like level up things? Because I know I can't get them back. I do remember that. No? Okay. I feel like there's a reason why I have his on. Oh, okay. I feel like there was a reason why I probably did this. So we're just gonna go for this. Should we try and get... I want everyone's to be a little closer to the 200 range. Yeah, we'll do you again. I guess I can only have 3 people on my team, right? Whatever. And then we'll upgrade yours. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh wait, wasn't there something else I can do with him? Or is that... You don't have to be so scary, my dude. And then... Then these... I have 10. Wait, color of Lumina. I have 10 out of 1. What does that mean? What if I add a Lumina point? Okay, well, okay. But what do you mean out of 1? These ones maybe I'm supposed to be a little more. I feel like she should have more. These should have more than 15, right? Give 2 each. Well, I want an even number. It bothers me. All right. Isn't there... Ah. Oh shit, okay. I'm just pressing things again to remember what all... Ah, okay, okay. Things are coming back to me. Our boy! Or a boy. One of the boys. Ah, right. Also, we're on that little side mission there. Oh, look! Look at him! He's so cute. Okay. Must find baby gestrels. Let me tell you, this is fucking loud. Why do they make the music so loud? Like, comparatively. Oh, are we pissed? What happened?
What?
Huh?
It's safer in the village.
You missed the chance to meet Eskie. No way.
My hair.
I'm okay. We stick together.
She's stronger than you. Okay, so how does everyone know who SK? He has like some sort of. He's like well known because like he like, right? Like they like really study the gestrals somehow, and they like, but they've never like. No one who's interacted with them. They've never like gotten information back, right? Something like that, because no one has ever come back. Baseline. So. God damn it! Hold on, my arm. So he's like a legend, right? Like it's like where they didn't even realize that he's like a real person thing, gestural. But we don't know what he does, or we have an idea based off of the tales or something. I'm just trying to have things come back to me, you know. Does anything happen if I talk to the same person again?
I still can't believe it.
Oh no.
What was your plan?
Well,
All right then. I think we did the things. Does this do anything? Full cutscene, so yeah. Why is she looking like that? She's seen some shit.
You okay? You've been quiet since we left the village.
yeah, sorry. Just bad memories.
Wanna talk about it?
No.
No.
I'm glad you're here.
I would never abandon a member of Aquafarm 3.
Aquafarm 3.
Aquafarm 3.
That was so long ago. You and Sophie were inseparable on that project.
Yeah, we were.
That was a good project. You've had so many neighborhoods at once. Kind of nostalgic thinking back. We really thought we were making a difference.
Hey, we're still making a difference.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah.
He's got to believe that. Find and recruit the legendary SKA at SKA's nest. He should be able to help cross the sea. Whoa. Writing in our journal. He writes about gestrals. He knows how happy his apprentices will be to learn that they exist. He hopes that one day his apprentices will read everything he wrote.
For those who come after.
Alright, I guess now we'll go to bed.
I can't believe it. We're gonna meet the SKA.
The gestrals and SGA. The tales are true.
Do you feel something?
Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Huh? Oh. Is this the paintress? Is this the paintress?
White hair.
this the paintress? I don't remember. She's got like a... kind of scary. Don't touch. I wouldn't touch it if I were you. You're gonna let her touch your face? She's gonna suck the life out of you.
I told you to stay home.
Why does
It's
that
not
look
good
like
for you to see
Gustav?
this. Yes. Yes, I understand. It's her fault, and she doesn't even know it. But you can't be here.
What are you talking about? What's my fault? What is this?
You should never have come. You're only going to make things worse for everyone.
His hair doesn't look
Now
white.
take your friends and go home. Let them spend their final year in peace. This is your only warning.
I can't wait to see.
Maya?
Hey.
Didn't she just have her weapon out?
Hey.
And no one...
It was him. I saw him. The white-haired man. and
Look like there was someone else there,
was a
too.
woman.
What
Maya,
did
what are
you
you talking
see?
about?
Mael, breathe. Slow down. What did you see? Think carefully. Every detail could be important.
He said we need to go home and that it's my fault. And that I'm gonna make things worse for everyone.
Do they already know she has some
We were all
weird power?
frozen. I couldn't. It was like a waking
It's
nightmare.
okay. It's okay.
What
It's
else?
over.
You said there was a woman.
No, maybe later.
And she had a mask and
I know this is hard, but I need you to focus, okay? While the details are fresh.
Luna, ask her tomorrow.
She's trying to get shit done.
Breathe. Listen to me. You're safe. Do you understand? Okay? It's over.
A scientist. Mentality of a scientist. I've been thinking that guy looks like Gustav. What do you call her? Alicia? Was that what he said? Alicia? Alicia? Alicia. That sounds more right. That Alicia sounds too not like... doesn't fit in the game. Alicia. Alicia? Alicia. That sounds like a name that would be here. Alicia? Why they all got white hair? And also, why is half her face gone? It's hard to know her age, I guess. But, like, if that... it's just confusing to me because that guy looks like old Gustav. Like an older version of him. Or maybe his dad. I guess I don't really know very much about his family. And then... that girl could that have been a future Mael? But then why would he call her a new name? I would say it looks like her, but like it's kind of hard to tell with like most of the face covered up.
Feeling better?
yeah.
We can debrief along the way. Let's head east to Eskier's nest.
Let's head east. Did we know? Did they already knew that she has these like visions? I don't remember this if this was something they'd mentioned before. Is that reason why they were like we shouldn't bring her? Or is it? I thought it was just because she was so young that he didn't want to bring her on the expedition or something. But maybe it's more. Okay, this is new. Okay, that's what I was thinking. I was like, but I know he was super overprotective. But they were all acting like this is not something that is a new thing. Like they knew how to be like, no, it's fine. Just calm down. Like everyone there, I feel like knew that this was something that maybe she has episodes of mystery like this. East, never eat soggy waffles. East is that way. Wait, never. No, it's that way. Oh, well, that's probably it right there, huh? That looks like the thing that I think that I've seen people with the mask. The SKA mask. But so they're right there. Are they in like some other dimension? If they're like, because they were talking with her live and they were all like, as if they're all standing there watching. Yeah, this looks really, really, really pretty here. This is when we like first entered into this like zone, I was like, whoa, full, very, very different. But it's, oh, these look like big nails, huh? Like it's building something. Interesting. Did I notice that before? This tower that looks like there's something. What the fuck is that? Okay. There's so many things off in the distance that I wish I could see better. It's very suspicious. But anyways, those other people are in some like unpainted world. Black and white, seemingly maybe same spot, different dimension, that they can maybe see into. They can observe this dimension. But can't. Maybe they can only come over into this dimension for short periods of time or something, and that's why he was like, well, I just gotta kill y'all all, otherwise you're gonna die anyways. I don't know. But this is the painted dimension, because everything's colored, and the other one is an unpainted black and white dimension. It doesn't mean anything to me, but I'm just taking note mentally. Doesn't matter who I walk up with. What if I... How do I swap person? There's a way to do that, right? Swap... Nope. Swap main. Because I remember I like to be... There we go. Lune, because she, like, hovers. We haven't seen how. Expedition 66.
Oh, Pico Bano, Ocarito, Passwordito, Mi Parino.
Golgra said to shout the password as loud as we can. Well, Gustav, you're the loudest.
Really?
Have a booming features voice.
Hey.
Come on, don't be shy.
Get out of my way! Jeez, tu Pokemon Ma Parino.
No. It's just it's the password.
Pico Femicola, Go Granda Maribombino, Passwordito, Gomiku Rapito Sava.
Look, I am very sorry. It's just that Golgra told us that's the password, and
Come on, it's a gestural. He'll have forgotten in about a minute.
I'm sorry.
Oh. I love how Gustav's like coat, the way it's like cut, makes him look like he got like hourglass. He got body yaddy with that coat, you know. Quite the tower. Why am I hearing little squeakies? random little noises.
Interesting decor.
SK is said to feed on light.
Are you okay, Mael?
I don't know. Getting a bit of deja vu again.
The light here. It feels a little. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. Ooh. Oh, wait. He likes to have a lot of statues of himself. Look, that's him right there. We were birthed by Esquier right there. There's a fire down there? That's insane. There's so much to look at. Look at these hands. There's like hands coming out of this thing. Oh, hello. Is this a... no, it has no head. Unless the head... oh, wait. SK is right there as well. Huh. There's another one. Interesting. Weird, but okay. How do people not stop and look around? It's so much to look around at. You see more SKs over there, and there's like smoke coming out from here. Ooh! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! Why is there smoke down here? That's what I'm saying. They made this pretty-ass game. I guess that's probably something I'm gonna fight later. Sad. Sad not to appreciate all this work that the devs put in. Oh, the smoke is coming from this, like, pot. Should I try and go in the water? What happens if I touch the water? Bad? Good? Bad? Okay. I'm not dying. I shouldn't go up to that thing, though. I'm not trying to fight. Or am I? How do I do this again? Oh, just X over and over. Okay. Alright! I just wanted to investigate that smoke. Because... I feel like I just thought maybe it was something down there. People are too serious, okay? Take themselves too seriously. And also, SK seems to absolutely be in love with himself. Because he's got so many SKAs everywhere. All over. But the ceiling's so pretty. Anything in these corners here? I feel like there's stuff. Look, there's a thing up there. I saw it. Can I climb things? I forgot. Can I? This looks like I probably can't climb it, huh? I'll get you later, I bet. I'll be real pissed if I don't. What's over here? Whoa! Oh, that's probably not. This water looks weird as fuck. Kind of scary, huh? So a lot of these are the fallen lamps. Yeah, what the heck? It looks so crazy. How do you not investigate this? Chains. Look, there's another SK there. Okay, fine. We'll go straight now. I'm guessing there's nothing back here. Fake gamer. You're going to bed. telling me? Oh, it just looks like I should be able to go the way and climb things. Ugh. I'll go this way, I guess, since that one has a pillar there. Oop, something's going on.
No SGA.
He's everywhere. He's all around you. He can fly?
Bonjour, mes amis.
Hey, bonjour, mon ami.
CL?
Odd. I don't know. He seems nice.
Oh, it's you. Hello again, my terrible swimmer friend. You finally come to learn to swim?
No. I'm not that fond of water.
Actually, that's sort of why we're here. We need to cross the sea.
Does
Golgra
he
said
know
you could help.
something
Mon ami,
about her path?
a rolling stone gathers no moss.
Pardon me?
In the stories, they say Esquier likes to speak in riddles.
In what way?
I don't get it.
A rolling spoon, grains, no
We
moss.
really
You got
need
it.
to
You
cross
wanna?
the sea. Would you please help us?
There's a lot of you to carry. I'm strong, but I'm not that strong. I will need Flory,
Who's Florrie?
one of my rocks.
Rocks.
See? Flory helps me swim. But Flory was stolen by my arch nemesis. One whose every step shakes the foundation of the world. The one known as Francois.
Okay.
Francois.
Let me guess. Francois is located deep in Nevron-infested territory, right?
Oh no. He's right next door. Over there.
Oh,
Francois is my neighbor.
okay. Well, I guess we could take a look.
Fantastic. Good luck, mes amis. Please, bring Flory back to me.
You seem to know me.
Yes.
How? I don't understand.
Men trip not on mountains. They stumble upon stones.
Men.
Okay.
Men trip not on mountains, they stumble on stones. I'm writing it down. I need to write that down. I need my post-its again. Where's my pen? Right here. Men trip not on mountains. They stumble on stones. That's what he said? They stumble on stones. That was his response to her saying, you seem like you know me. And also he said, rocks, like rolling rocks do not collect moss or something along those lines. Rolling, something like this. Rocks can't collect or grow, can't grow moss. He said it much better than that. And that was in reference to Gustav asking... He was asking... That was him asking if he could help? Or... something like that? Okay. Okay. But also, Jimbo, thank you for the birthday. Happy birthday. What if we go back and talk to him again? Again. Oh. Good luck, mes amis. Please bring Flory back to me. Mes amis. Mes amis. Wow, it's also your birthday? Wait, I can't believe y'all didn't look around. Ooh, look, a pretty little hole there. I want to go through that. There's a thing over there. You think I can get it through here?
The more information we get, the more questions I have.
That is how
You
that
okay,
goes.
Siad?
Yeah. Esquier is surprising.
Whoa! Go this way to get to the thing. Oh, there is a thing here, but...
What have we here?
See the difference between those who get lost in wonder and thought, striking forests or cities or museums or so on, or those who aren't. Wow. What's in these pots? I'm so intrigued by the steaming. Also, why can't I get around? I want to go reach that thing that I couldn't reach. I'm gonna be pissed. I mean, I'll be back, so I can maybe try and get it later. 66. Wasn't there another 66? Wait, this can't... Yeah. I guess we don't really need anything, huh? Oh. For some reason I thought we had come into this already. But
There's nothing here.
that's what you said before. Oh shit. Okay, maybe I should hold on to my...
Who dares enter my lair?
Is it gonna come out of that
You can't just
rock?
walk into someone's home without knocking. That is incredibly rude.
Is that... Are you Francois?
Oh yeah!
He's just a talking rock.
Wait, I thought Florrie was the rock.
A rock? I am not a rock. Do you have rocks for eyes? You certainly have rocks for brains. I am clearly a turtle. Esquier! Stop sending hooligans over here!
Stop being a meanie. They're nice humans.
Then keep them on your side of the caves! Now get off my lawn!
It's okay. We'll leave. We're just here for Florrie.
So, not only are you intruding, you're here to steal? Oh my word! Humans! Well, over my dead body! Rah!
They're just like, what's happening? Okay, let me remember how to play this game. I also just have not played SCL, so... Okay, foretell, no charge. Create sun and moon charges by casting skills. Enter twilight by combining sun and moon charges. I have no idea. I don't remember what we did. Okay, so I do vaguely remember these things. Yeah, we did have those three, so I guess we did. I mean, I must have swapped it. Low dark damage, one hit, consumes foretell to deal additional damage. Applies to, if no foretell, applies 5. Okay, that's very good. Medium physical heals. Okay, so we'll do X. Oh shit, I forgot we also have these quick time events. Ugh. Everything is a quick time event. Alright, and then we are also in Virtuous. Oh. Lock in. I'm locking in. Sorry. Applies. How do I know which stance she's gonna go into again? Low fire damage, 1 hit, applies 3 burn. Okay, so we'll do Spark. Oh, so that's the pose that she goes into after where she's done with it. Ah, okay.
Flames. On me.
Did that do anything? He is. Oh, but I forgot. I shouldn't even be doing this. I should be doing this. Is this his weak spot, his face? Or... yeah, it went red. I just need to get rid of these shields. I don't think he can really do anything after that. Yeah. Depends on the thing. I think some can do it depending on what. So like the other one was like if she was in Virtuose, then it will be back into Virtuose. But I didn't have enough points to do that one, so. Alright, we will just do a normal attack.
Careful now, Gustav.
Now how do I parry?
Ready.
How do I parry? How do I block, y'all? Wait, what was the button? What do you mean this is a great one? Right bumper. Fuck, I was so close. I was doing right trigger. So I did have some instincts. Dodges B? Okay. Well, she's not gonna get... okay, so I have 1 plus 1 AP per foretell consumed. Okay, but I can't... I only have 1. Should I try to bring him back or like what? Like... I have... Okay. Plus consume. Okay, I guess I'll do Y. Weakness. She's in defensive mode. Yeah, low physical hit damage switches to virtuose if target is burning. Yeah, I guess we'll do that for now.
Take your shot.
Okay, so... oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, I was B, but I was too early. Okay, but we're in Virtuose. We have 5. So, we can do... not that. Oh, fuck. I thought that Flurry was a 5. Fuck. Not a 6. Because that's a high. Alright, well, we'll just go for... we still did it! Woo, because my L is strong as fuck!
Okay, let's put an end to this foolishness. I need to sleep like a turtle.
All this trouble for a tiny rock.
Take it and never come back.
She's strong, yeah.
Francois, you got
Francois.
smashed.
But know that I will never stop chasing you.
But you can't move.
He is a turtle. He must have legs somewhere. He's sensitive about it. Alright, y'all are fucked up. I got your shit rocked. I want to go to there.
Francois and Esquier are very different from Gestrels and Nevrons.
You think the paintress created them too?
If not, who else?
Maybe they came from another world.
Another mime. So maybe they came from another world. Hold on, I was... No, I thought that there was maybe going to be a flag here. She said maybe they came from another world. Like that black and white world. I was wondering, what I was just thinking of was if the Gestrels have some other, like, version of themselves in the other world, if, like, or something, or the other dimension. Where the fuck is this flag? I saw it coming in. There we go. Beautiful. All right, now mime. Mime. Ooh, got a little laggy there for a second on the stream. Sorry. Oh yeah, I saw that mime. It's hard not to see the mime, I feel. But first, give me thing.
Great.
They're so scary. Is there any easy way to get down there, or do we just have to jump? We're jumping. Hello? You haven't gotten to play yet? Oh shit. Is something gonna happen? No. Oh, fuck.
Here we go.
Well, thankfully I saved. Understandable. I've been putting off playing for so long, so. Okay. Right. First, we're not gonna waste any of our shit. Wait, where is this? Oh, there we go. I don't know if she has anything that is just a 1. Nah. All right, normal attack then. I would want to parry things. I just got scared. Even though Maya literally says, parry him! Just easy to do this. Hopefully that I can parry correctly. Ooh, fuck, I didn't parry. Oh my god! I tried to parry. Oh wait, I hit the wrong parry. I hit the wrong button for parry. Okay, next time I'll try. I keep going for the trigger instead of the bumper. So annoying. All right, we'll try bumper next. See what happens. I might have to do some adjusting on some of these here, because yeah.
Here's your card.
Oh. Ooh, I parried! I parried one of them! I parried at least one of them! I parried! If I wasn't ready for the rest of them, I just... Okay, we're still alive, barely, but I mean, we didn't do any damage. So like, I don't know. You subscribed! I thought you said you had no money! Let's do A, I guess. Oh my god. Fuck. Oh, it gifted. It didn't show me that. Oh, it does say that. I'm silly. What is yes? Oh, shit! Oh, shit. Shit. It is. But so there's the trigger, and then there's the bumper, and so I had kept accidentally hitting this because this is where my finger naturally hits, so I need to keep it here instead of here. Yes, retry. Isn't there like a group dodge too? Oh shit.
Ready.
I don't know I guess it is probably 1 and 2, but it says RT and RB. So a bumper and a trigger. I don't know which one's 1 and which one's 2. Can I parry then block or then dodge? Oh wait, I need to break your stuff. Okay, so I don't feel like I honestly don't feel like the fire is doing very much. Okay, we'll do. Or should I guard up? No, I should. I usually am, but I usually am bad at parrying, but I was getting pretty good last time I was playing. We ain't doing shit to this. I feel like I remember this, but wasn't there something that I could do that was I beat it one shot or something? I feel like I remember something like that happening.
Second win.
Careful now.
Oh. Shit. Oh gosh, she's got her guard. Ooh, hell yeah, girl. Oh, I did it wrong. I was trying to move. Okay, so it's hard for me to get into the habit of what buttons I'm supposed to hit. Because that time I tried to dodge, but then I keep wanting to just hit the trigger. R1, I think. Alright, skills. You ain't got a lot going on, girl, let me tell ya. I can't do any of those.
Here's your card.
Silences a status effect that prevents the character from using skills. Thank you. Is that... Which character? The mime? Or us? It's us. Huh. Cool, cool. I love that. I love that for us. Is there any items we have that can make that not happen? Oh, okay, cool. So why isn't it let me do any skills? Because I'm stanceless? No, I am silenced. Ah, okay, no, she's silenced, I see. Okay, then I'm gonna do this. Heals target for... Yeah, I see that now. Let's see here. I know there's something with the marks. I forgot what the marks do. But we'll do Y. I'm doing shit there. Oh shit. Well, we parried one of them. That one I have the timing on ish for the first one. Marks makes enemy take 50% more damage for one attack or one hit. Aha, okay. I am slightly confused how this foretell situation works. So there's a 5 on the thing, but behind me there's a card that says 1. Unless Mark stacks in some way, then it gets crazy. There's a Mark build that goes nuts. Okay. I only have 2, so it's not like I don't really have very many options. Anyways, applies 2 foretell it. Consumes foretell to deal more damage. So okay, we'll do that. I don't know. But it has the moon on it instead of the sun, and the sun is the one with the 1. I feel like I'm not doing it. We're not doing much damage, but also I know it's got that bar, the lower bar. I think once we get beyond that one, then it's easier or something, if I remember correctly. Or it builds up. I don't remember. Alright, now we have stuff. Even though we are almost out of health, so that's not great. But we can do fluid, but we're not in virtuous stance. But it can break, which is what I think we need to do. Still stanceless. That's some bullshit. We are so charged. Oh, too bad. Yeah, he better not fucking die. You hear me? Oh shit. Okay. So that one I don't got the timing of, obviously. Okay. I can't do shit. So that's so fun. And we're out of those, so that's so fun too. We're gonna, I guess, give him some AP so he can fucking overcharge.
For those who come after.
Ah, shit. We ain't doing shit. Fucking fuck. Why is this not breaking? Or whatever. Why is the mime so hard? I don't remember the other one being this hard. Or was it? I don't feel like it was. It's pissing me off. There's no point in doing that, I feel. It's not doing any damage. Nothing. So, like, I don't understand. But I still don't. I just don't understand why nothing is doing any damage. Well, she's not dead. So there's that, I guess. Yeah, I know, but I don't remember the gimmick. I remember learning the gimmick before, but I don't remember what the gimmick is. Because I feel like it was the same thing on the other mimes. I just don't remember what it was, but I had figured it out. So I'm pissed that I don't remember it anymore. And there was like a way that it was like makes it easy to get through. It's the lower thing, right? Like once it breaks, then it's just like a one shot. Isn't that what it is? Yeah, but then how does the only things that break are the ones that say they break? So why can't I? Why can't I? Also, because I don't have any stains. I want to be able to break, but I'm not gonna. So wait, only things that break can do that bar at the bottom, is what you're saying? That will eventually break it? So close. I'm gonna be so pissed. I guess I'll do a freaking Thunderfall since I'm just...
Lightning strike!
Fuck. Oh, okay. It's hard to tell when the bar is full. Do only physical attacks do, or physical damage do the breaking thing? Oh, thank the Lord. Okay. At least I parried, then I dodged. Some have higher break values than others. The ones that say can break are the only ones that can carry it over to a stun. Okay. So I should hold on to those ones. In general, if something has higher damage that it does. Does the burn also apply to the bar?
Shields up.
Fly's powerful. Three hits. Heals if target is burned. It is burning, so we'll do A. Ah, fuck shit.
Ready.
Okay, so burn is pointless, except for the fact that it can help some attacks.
Welcome back.
Oh, fuck! Okay. Okay. I don't know if I would have been able to parry all those. Okay. Alright, we're getting somewhere. Slowly. Okay. Applies medium dark damage. Applies... Do any of hers break? Okay. Oh wait, that one can. That one's 5. So I guess I should... I want to like balance out using too much stuff because I want them to have them all to have the thing that breaks if I get the chance to break. But then I'm like, does the higher damage mean the break goes high too? Like, I guess I have time really, so I can do this one, I suppose. High physical. Critical hits don't remove foretell. It seems foretell to... Okay. I'll do Y first then. I don't know.
Take this.
Okay. I'm gonna do the lowest number 1.
My sword is death.
I think I'm going to do the item, maybe? I just don't want him to die because he can break. But then, what I'll do actually, how much is that? Overcharge is 4? Okay. I'll do another one of these suckers. We'll do 2 because I think that he'll get back 2 by the time we come back. If I heal him. No.
Please survive.
Oh shit, I thought I dodged that last one. That one I don't have as good of a timing on, I feel. Alright. I feel like the break bar is so close yet so far. Do the same thing actually. But does she have anything that does anything about marks? I don't think she does. It was just CL. Okay, cool. So we'll do this. Pew! Pew! Not doing much. It's not doing anything actually. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have done that. Why am I doing that? Why am I doing that? It's because I'm afraid. I shouldn't play out of fear, okay? Okay, but we are gonna revive CL.
No, never.
Oh, I can get her turn back? That's cool. I mean, she just doesn't really have anything that she can really do. But that is cool that she can do that. Okay. And we're also gonna chill. We're not gonna do anything crazy. Because I need this man's available. Ah, shit. Shit. I parried, so that's something. I feel like we do.
Shields up.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to use his overcharge. I want... I'm just gonna do this. Ah! Ooh, at least we dodged that last one. Ooh.
Not looking good.
We're gonna break it so soon, please. We can do... Everything's low damage. I wanted higher damage, but I guess it's just because, I mean, can't have everything. Come on, break already. Break, break, break. I don't want to. I need your little number back. Give me charges. Okay. But I won't. So if I will, but it won't. Will it break? Do I have to wait for it to be filled and then it will break, or do I? Or can it do it in the same thing? You know, like. God damn it. You know what I mean? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so we're gonna do just a normal attack.
Let's start.
Ah, shit! Once again, I parried. Okay, but it's totally about to break, and we're full. Is that full? Is that full? I can't tell. It looks like it's like maybe has like this tiniest amount that's not full yet. Can I zoom in? Can someone zoom in on that for me? I think I can do that. That's full, right? Or is that not full? That looks full. And look, it's all like gold and... Okay. You should fucking better be. I just was waiting. I specifically held this so I can break it.
For those who come after.
Yay! So now I can just... do any of these right and it'll kill it? Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. More Unfortunately, he has... Wait, okay, we're still not... Fuck, fuck, fuck!
Ready to evade.
We're still fine.
That hurts.
But I want to get the achievement where I beat all the mimes. I guess I can come back to this one, right? Alright. Fine. But I guess it was decent practice, because we definitely... I was learning all my dodges and parries again. I'm just learning how everyone works. Oh, here we go. Can I just jump over to that one? How do I jump again? How do I jump? There we go. Yay!
We can use that.
I did. I relearned braking. That I do. Yeah. Bum, 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 bum. We're back with your rock. I'm gonna go this way this time. I'm ready for more of your riddles.
Oh? You got Flory. That's not Flory.
What do you mean that's not Flory?
Ha! I never had Flory. Your rock is still on the Stone Wave Cliffs.
He got me good.
Wait, does this mean you won't help us?
If you promise to get me Flory, then we can be buddies.
Can't you swim without Flory? We saw you flying just now.
Oh, you're much too heavy. I need my rocks.
Your rocks.
Alas, I've lost them all. I can do much more than swim. I can fly into space. I used to fly all the time with my best friend Verso.
We'll help you find your stones.
Oh,
Multiple
how lovely
stones?
of you.
Wait, Francois said the Stone Wave Cliffs. Where's that?
All the way to the north. Just aim for the big 33. Ooh,
Oh my
I'll
God.
meet you outside. Ah!
Stone Wave Cliffs. Interesting. So I am very confused by SK as a being, which I guess is kind of the point. Cause he needs this rock, but then he was confused. Is the other rock just as small as that one? I'm assuming it's actually like insanely different, and he is just like, you know, they're still gestural, so they act kind of. Wait, there's a thing down there. Hold on, I gotta get the thing. Oh, there's a fly in here. Oh. What is... Hello? Eh. What the hell? Why did I have to jump down? Oh shit, am I stuck? No, I'm not stuck. I'll just jump then. Don't mind me. Let me have it. Oops.
An advantage.
Oop. Okay, I don't want to actually accidentally fall this time around. I am assuming the rock is not a rock. Like, Flory is not a rock, probably. Oh, there's like a little camp or something over there. Is this the room we were in before? There's a dude over there. Hello? Is one of our guys that we were finding, or is this man dead? Oh, this looks dead. These are dead. Dead people. Stone people. Lots of them. Wow, lots. Lots. This is a whole expedition.
Expedition 66, Marcel. Damn you, Eskia, and your stupid mushrooms. Your friend ate them with no problem, but it also seems your friend was immortal. That's the sort of extremely relevant detail that you should mention at the start. Oh, stop crying. You're not the one about to die. I can't believe this is the end of our expedition. We've learned nothing and achieved nothing, and we're not even leaving anything useful for future expeditions.
Other than don't
Damn
eat
it all,
the
I should
thing.
never have trusted a giant talking marshmallow. Great, and now I'm losing consciousness.
That's kind of fucked up. That's kind of fucked up for realsies. Wait, so why the fuck are the rest of them dead? If he was like, you're not the one that's about to die, did they all just decide to take the mushrooms in honor of their friend? Like, what the fuck? That seems a little silly, a little dumb, huh? He was talking to Eskia. Yeah, but then... Oh, right. I understand. But I'm gonna be real. I don't know how smart they were to be eating mysterious mushrooms. Like, the crazy thing that they thought that, like, whatever... If some other being that is not human... His friend, unless they thought that the person that was eating them was human. I guess Eskia might have told them it was safe. But then, like... It's dumb for them all to have taken them. Like, you know, I feel like strange mushrooms in a strange place. One person should be like, like, also, why? Why? Were you that hungry? I guess we don't know very much about their eating habits here. But, like, that seems a little dumb that you would all take it. Every single one. Every single one of y'all decided to, like fucking, like, PETA and Katniss at the end. But you didn't even know you were doing. You all took it at the exact same time. Dumb. Dumb. Sounds like a dumb crew to me. How do we go? Are we going down? I just don't want to go down because I won't be able to go back up, probably. We're still in his... place, his territory here. Oh yeah, we're back in the beginning. This is I feel like we've seen a couple of the 66 ones. Am I wrong? I doubt we've gotten anything, right? Yeah, I didn't. There's no leveling up, no nothing, so. Are we gonna say sorry again? Dang, sad. We're gonna go here. There's something in here for me. Nothing! Make me come into a little crevice and there's nothing here for me to pick up. That's rude. I assume we're following Eskia out because he was saying to the north. To the north for Flory. Possibly at the something cliffs? Something wave? Is that what it was? I'm also getting a little hungry. Oh shit! SKA can help you navigate impenetrable terrain to discover new areas on the continent. Call upon SKA anytime on the continent by pressing X. SKA will help you move over difficult terrain, find the other stones to improve. Oh, that's kind of cool, huh? Okay, but I want a little snack. I have lots of desserts to be able to eat. BRB. Should I get a cupcake? 'Cause birthday? Bum, ba, ba. That's true. No mushrooms for me. Dun, 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 dun. Place it back with my belly. I guess I should also get a napkin or something. Because I'll probably get icing on my hands. Paper towel acquired. Acquired. I don't know how to say it. I feel like I used to know the word for napkin in French. Even cake. No. I do know cake. Fuck, it's like right on the tip of my tongue, the word for cake. What's the word for cake in French? Fuck. Start with a G? Yummy. I'm gonna look up what cake is in French. Cake in French. Gâteau! I was right, it starts with a G. Hell yeah! I knew it. I was like, that's right. It doesn't sound as appetizing, I suppose. Gâteau. We gotta learn some more French while playing this game. Oh wait, we're going north. North is that way. I don't really want to fight those. And what was this guy over here? I vaguely remember talking to some of these creatures. This one's kind of scary. Is that a creature up there? I feel like it is. It looks creature-esque. So much creepy but cool things. This little tower over here is freaking wild, let me tell you. I hate that I can't look a little bit higher. I just want to know how high up a lot of these things go. Oh, wait. How the fuck do I get over there? I guess that's the whole point. You're at impassable terrain, right? I'm on impassable terrain. Why can't I mount Esquier? Oh. Huh? Oh, he just demolishes it. Okay. Can he run? Oh, shit. Whoa. Whoa.
I'm the fastest ball.
Like a dog. What the hell? Just riding him. Alright, I guess. Let me actually go ahead and do this too. Might as well since I'm here. Oh.
Here we go.
Okay. Alright, so now we're probably good, right? Dismount, thank you. Now we have so much more to explore over here. How do I get to photo mode? Oh, wait, I still can't. I thought maybe, never mind. I thought that because he like broke it all down, then we were gonna be able to.
Oh, lovely.
It's this guy. Hi, humans care for a good deal. Should we trade? Oh. No. Bun braid? Yeah, we're gonna buy that. Isn't this already his hair? Or is this not his hair? That looks just like his hair now. It's actually crazy that Lune can't go over here because she's literally floating, by the way. Another dude. Neurons. How many?
Vergier, Expedition 62. Eugène beat the rest of us to 100 kills.
Eugène.
But I'm still 3 shy. I might need to do some solo hunting if I'm going to even up the score. Oh, I can hear a big Nev coming. They count for double. If I kill it quick, I can boost my score.
That's crazy. There's a whole ass building right here. Can I jump? Hello? No. Alright. I can't mount a ski right here. It's like a very wait. Specific spot that I can. Oh, I can't even go anywhere. I thought. What the hell was the point? What's the point here? Nothing here. Oh, it goes to the same zone. I see. Okay. Still attached to that one. I didn't realize that. Alright, so he said go north. I guess maybe it's this thing over here. This is crazy. We're just like riding him like a horse or something.
Great.
Give me things. I want all the things. Okay. A lot of red flowers over here. Triggered. These look like a cliff of stone wall. There we go. That's what I was gonna say.
Can we camp first? I'm tired. Can we camp first?
Okay then. Go to camp. Oh shit. Again? Oh, on a gâteau! Huh?
I see why you like throwing rocks.
You've been quiet since you saw those people.
It felt like they knew me. Like, actually knew me. I don't understand what's happening. And I feel like I never understood. Like, I'm always missing something that everyone else just gets. Lumiere life never made sense, and I never fit, and now out here, when it was just starting to maybe feel good, then this happens, and...
Yeah. I hate it too. Things we don't understand. They just make us feel small and powerless. But it helps, you know, to focus on the things I do understand, on the people I care about and who care about me. And, you know, now I feel a little less lost, because at least we're lost together. What? What? Stop it. Too cheesy? No. Well, if it makes you feel better, I was even more lost when I was 16.
I heard that was because you were only thinking about girls.
Yep, but guess what? The girls weren't thinking about me at all.
I believe that.
Yeah. You can talk to me. We're family. Well, that's what the paperwork says, at least.
Well, the paperwork probably says we're dead too, so...
Yeah, probably. Ooh, nice one.
I know.
I told you, don't get cocky. It was okay.
You taught me great. Nah.
Wow, he's so cool. I really feel like that is them in another, like, timeline or something, like an alternate version of them, that, like, maybe he does something and, like, burns down the world in some way for the two of them to be able to exist, like mother, like a father-daughter, like, as long as it's us, then, like, that's all that matters, that the two of us have survived. But then the old guy, I think, does have his arm. So that's why I'm thinking it has to be like a fully alternate timeline. I don't know at what point it, like, strays. Turning off my AC. Because they had Gustav in the fire. I feel like I needed to watch that again. Her nightmare, but obviously I'm not going to be able to. She was like, they knew me. They really knew me. Like, you think like it was you? Like you were looking at you? That's just what it felt like. But why would she be named something different is the curious thing. Unless like they know that they can't reveal their names, so they have fake names, or maybe because it's an alternate timeline they gave her a different name. Because she's like adopted, right? That's why it's like, oh, that's what the paperwork said. Because didn't he adopt Mael? Because like, what's the lore there that Sophie wanted kids, but he didn't. Because like, if by the time they were gonna have kids, then their kid would have like not like it like if it would die before the 100 or whatever, like the expedition, the last expedition thing or whatever. And so he didn't want to like subject a child to that or something. But then so he adopted Mael instead. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. It was the opposite. She didn't want kids. Yes, and he did. So he adopted Mael. Also, everyone is dying young. So now that kids are off an orphan and adopted by other people, like that's true. But then but the thing was that like because after this expedition is just gonna get younger and younger, that like what we were doing the math before, and that like if Sophie and Gustav had a kid however many years they had told us prior, then like the kid wouldn't no one would be able to like that was born then would be able to live past like 14 or something like that. Gustav and Gustav's sister are her guardians. Okay. Yeah. And then it's just like sad because then at what point you can't repopulate and there aren't enough adults to take care of the kids. So then like it's like really irresponsible if like you're like bringing a kid into the world who won't have any adults. Eventually it starts to tip, so it's just literally a whole society of children with no adults and no one to like properly teach kids about like surviving, and so then they're just like gonna be wiped out. Like, yes, I remember learning about all of that and being like, that's fucked. Indeed it is. How do we get back to the normal camp? Is it over here? This is where I just came from? No. Is this like a Gustav spot? What is this? It's probably for another character we meet later. Yeah. This shit is so pretty though. Their world is being destroyed in a very pretty, beautiful way, let me tell you. I'm looking at everything. Wait. For a second, I was looking like some of these little waves here had the little symbols in it, and I was like, hold on. But I don't know if I'm just seeing things. Whoa, our boy, he's right here.
I haven't seen a human in so long.
When was the last time you saw a human?
Oh, my best friend when he asked for my help.
Oh. What's his
Your
name?
best friend is human? I thought Francois was your
No, that's your arch nemesis.
Yes.
Oh wait, Francois was not. No wait, the other thing is not Francois. The turtle is not Francois. What was his name again?
We finally found someone who loves rocks more than you.
So it seems.
I think you and Esquier are soulmates.
Turn the auto on. How do I turn the auto on? Which one's auto? Here we go.
Esquier must have experienced so much over the centuries.
You're gonna grill Esquier, aren't you?
Okay, that's what I thought.
A creature of legend. Yeah, just a little.
I thought he called someone else his best friend, and Francois was his arch nemesis. Although he did just say Francois is human. To a degree. Which, then, slightly maybe proves my point of gestrals maybe being gommaged people. So maybe he knew Francois before he was gommaged. And then he was gommaged and he was able to put himself in this turtle thing. I'm just not sure how it all is connected, you know? How this part of the gestural thing is connected to the like alternate dimension or an alternate timeline thing. You know?
I think you have a new best friend.
Esquier. Yeah. He's sweet. And somehow he knows I'm a terrible swimmer. When he said that, it made me think of, you know...
Yeah, I thought it might.
Who?
After the beach, when I was alone, I almost,
I know.
How?
I told you.
Oh.
No, but I could fill in the blanks. And I understand better than anyone. You know that. I'm just glad Lune found you. Before it was too late. Just like whoever found me. I like having you in my life.
Same.
Good night, Gustav.
Is that why she has those scars? That's so sad. Wait, I'm not gonna freaking cry. What the hell? The hell? The hell? What the hell?
For those who come after.
Fuck, fuck. Fine, fine, fine. All right. Damn. Oh shit, we're having another one. They're same height difference, I'm telling you. Look, this motherfucker looks just like Gustav. And that looks just like her. Don't let her touch you.
I envy them. Those who can't see. Those who know not that they are not. And those who live, blithe and free, sins forgotten, and thus absolved, a fresh dawn in their playground, while we live in shadows, swimming in ink. We are but a fragile dream, a singular weed, resisting, ever resisting, that iron dirt, that eternal law. Those who can't see, those who know not that they are not,
never
So know not that they are not.
Why is everyone talking in riddles? What the fuck? What's that supposed to mean? What does that mean? They know not what they are not. I could barely even, like, I was trying to, like, figure out what she was, the previous thing she was saying as she was saying the next thing. I feel like you mentioned me voice acting stuff before, but that's not, like, I don't know voice actors like that, though, so. What the hell? Oh no! People were having a little bit of issues earlier. I don't know what would have changed. Can you still hear me, or is it just like a visual thing? Because earlier someone said the same thing about my stream, where they said that it was like I was, like it was very frame by frame. Oh. What do I do? Oh. Move it to 720p, because that's what some people were saying earlier, that they were like having issues with different streams on Twitch. Not like all streams, just some streams. And they were saying that it fixes it if you go to 720. Let me. Oh, okay. I was typing it out. Weird, weird, weird. Huh. I'm not sure. Is that something that I can even fix on my end of things? If it's happening to some people, sometimes, yeah, that some people moved it to 720 and they fixed it. Which I don't know if that's something that I can fix then, or if that's something that's a Twitch thing, or if I need to adjust some output setting and there's something wrong with my 1080 specifically, but not with my 720, which I've never heard of that. Yeah. I mean, but I'll have to look it up after stream to see. Oh. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll have to look it up because I haven't changed anything from last stream. I mean, granted, the other streams I did have been co-working lately, so it wouldn't have been so intensive. But I'm not sure if this is a Twitch problem, an OBS problem, or like, or even like a problem that is on my end that I can fix. Damn. Oh wait, we're supposed to go in here. Can someone Google? Someone Google if this is a thing that's been happening. I've just never heard of this before, that like people can just switch it and then it fixes everything. This reminds me of something. Is it like Game of Thrones or something? I feel like something about the way these stones are. I feel like this was in Game of Thrones. Speaking of which, House of the Dragon is going to start back up soon. I can't wait to watch House of the Dragon. I also... Oh. Something's happening.
Wanna go for a ride?
She have a crush on him.
Apparently, that was where people went on dates, you know? What do you think happened in those cabins?
No, actually, my guess is this was Expedition 50. You see, they created this giant wheel, and they tried to cross the world.
Okay, Professor.
Mes amis, Flory's close. I can feel it.
Come on, you can fly. Can't you get Flora yourself?
Oh no, too much effort.
That's bad.
So, wait. Esquier is that powerful?
Apparently so, but also lazy.
All right, let's go.
What a weird creature.
There's obviously some history with Ciel and Gustav, but I'm wondering... It feels like she almost has a crush on him, but obviously he is like a Sophie gal, so I'm wondering what that is. But then also she was saying, like, they were talking about like how Esquier seems familiar, and then it reminded them of someone, and they were like, yeah, let's not talk about it. And I was like, is that someone who was a lover before? Is it the reason of the heavy suicide stuff? Like, what was all that about? You know, like, are all of these things connected? Horsey. So they were saying that they built this to cross. That doesn't... How would that help? I feel like they... Well, first of all, they probably didn't build it. Unless they're just making things up. They're like... You know how, like, when you're distanced enough from a culture or, like, time, then you, like, look at... Like, they would look at a fork. Like, you know, like Ariel, like, she looks at a fork and she's like, wow, this is used to, like, comb hair, not to eat. Is it like that, where it's just, like, too much time is distanced from the use of, like, having something like a Ferris wheel for funsies, that they were like, ah, this must be for moving places, but then I also don't know how that would logistically work. And also, they still, like, would have known people in Expedition 50. That wasn't, like... Wait, what's the math there? It would have been very young, but... So many tunnels. I don't know if I like that. I'm gonna be real. Yeah, save in progress. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I'm ready for like a big old battle right now. Oh, well, there is a thing right there. Give me this flag, please. I'm streaming at... Hold on. I'm streaming at 6,000, and then my preset is on slower, which is better quality. So I'm at constant bitrate 6,000 kbps, whatever that means. I'm pretty sure all of these like settings were just like the recommended one on one thing many years ago. Do I need to update any attributes, actually? Or learn skills? Actually, I need to move CL stuff around. Well, not that. I was going to come down here. What's this? Or we do not. Wait, have we done any of this? Oh, wait, we did. Okay. Alright, let's go here. Oh, he's just in the background. I was gonna be like, hello? Okay. So... we need to do some luminous stuff, I feel like, and skill stuff. Right? %. Base attack applies defenseless. Critical burn. Grain powerful for 1 turn on base attack. 20% chance to apply mark on a free aim. That's like what he's got. Maybe. I forgot kind of how this works. SOS shell when shell apply shell when okay, yeah, let's do that. Ooh. It's kind of handy to have, huh? +2 AP on dealing damage out to a mark. Ooh, that's kind of nice too. Okay, especially because she kind of goes right after him. Oh, but also shouldn't we... These ones are not blue anymore. So what does that mean if they're not blue anymore? That means she just knows them, right? Like she can use them or something? And then we can move these for these. Okay, okay, okay. I am starting to remember. Speed critical rate. What does that mean? It just means that she can 25% break. Increased break damage. Oh, okay. 20%. No, we don't need that. We're getting rid of that for... Can we do that? There we go. Augmented attack is... Okay. Oh, okay. Augmented first strike on the first hit once per battle. I vaguely have forgotten exactly how all this works. So like I think that I have this on for a certain amount and then it like unlocks it for the Luminas, right? And then so she can just have more things active with her Luminas. I think that's how that works. And then it could just be something that is just like applied all the time. What's the stun boost? We'll do that one. And then we'll look at these skills here. Oh shit, she really doesn't have shit. Okay, making card. Deals... Oh, okay. Deals medium, single dark. Okay, we need something that's like a medium. I just have all... Okay. Deals minimum, medium, single target damage, 1 hit. Consumes all foretell. Okay, Searing Bond. This is a dark. This is a dark. Applies 5 foretell. She got so many 4s. What's this one? High single target. Maybe I swap it. Wait. Swap searing bond for marking card. Just since we've got a little bit. I don't know, just something. Alright. So I do feel like something is gonna happen. Feels like we're about to get our ship rocked. Possibly. That's a thing right there. You think that thing is a hard thing to beat? I don't like this music. The music is giving me vibes of things I don't want, is what I'm saying. Scary vibes. Ooh, another whole situation here.
The 78. Maxence. Stealing the airships. But we knew we had to try, and it worked. We deserve strong leaders, not those old fools on the council hiding under the dome. Under their control, our people are condemned to a slow, inevitable extinction. Their timid half-steps achieve nothing. The answers are not in Lumiere. They are out here. Our only choice is to take matters into our own hands. Fortune favors the bold. We must forge ahead with conviction.
Wow. So these ones are really these are some of the first expeditions. Right? Or these are the last ones? No. Yeah, these were the first ones. Like, apparently Simon was the first guy who went out. Julie is the second for search and rescue. For Simon, I assume. And that's when they started doing... Oh, and they're like, skip some. Maybe the council decided people, it took them a long time to figure out, like, so a plan. And then this, you know, once this, you know, then they started getting into a cadence. Because then after 69, then there's one every year, essentially, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. Interesting history there. Oh, that's something. What is that? Hello? So nothing's gonna happen when we come up to this thing? This isn't anything, you're telling me? Okay, well, let's come over here. What if we do this? What if I go like this? Do I have my aim? There's the aim thing. It was just hard to see in that. Ugh. Alright then, nothing. And no one's questioning that. No one thinks that's sus. No, come on. We got it. We got it. We got it. Oh, there's another one up here. Mael, you're just standing there like it's no big deal. How come she's just standing there and I can't stand there? Well, I assume it has the expedition number delays has to do with them just figuring out the whole like system and what they started doing once it started counting down from 100. They didn't realize what was going on because I mean 84 people probably not many people were probably living past 84. So I'm wondering if they didn't even realize it was killing people until 84. Or at least a little before 84, probably. And maybe that's why Simon went... No, maybe Simon just went out, cuz. And then they were talking about council old people, but obviously ain't gonna be too many old people. Oh, you have to shoot 3 targets to open. Wait, so I shot that one. Do I also need to shoot this one, or do I need to shoot them at the same time or something? What was... Oh, I need to shoot them in a certain order. Okay, I need to find the other one. Have I encountered one of these before? I don't remember encountering these, but I guess I probably have, huh? Oh, there's the other one. Come on. And the rest on this, all on this side? Do I need to go up again to see and may not look well enough? Can I come up this way? Can I come over here? Can I come over here? Can I come over here? No. Am I missing one? That's not good. Oh shit. Weird. Oh, there's something over here. Is there any way to now get rid of that delay if there's that much of a delay? So where's my third thing? What's this hole in the wall? I want to know what's in the hole. Why am I up here? Do I have to shoot this from up here? Do I have to come down here? To get something? Is this to give me a viewpoint of something else that I couldn't see before? Am I blind? Yeah. Hold on. Huh. I'm not sure if there's any way for me to fix delay now. Oh, encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. Oh. How do I know where that is? What is that? Faster? How about that? Okay. It's still saying encoding overloaded. I've never had this happen. How about that? Is it gonna like speed me up if I don't understand how this encoding thing works. Cause yeah, right now it's telling me I don't even know. Ah, what the hell? What the helly? Audio encoder, bitrate, constant bitrate. Tuning, low latency. Ba 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 ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. I don't know what all these things mean. Low latency? Constant bitrate, lossless bitrate, variable bitrate with target quality. Consider turning down lossless. Oh shit. Is this better? I don't really know. How is it? Hopefully, maybe that fixed something. I don't know. It's still on the bottom of my OBS says that encoding overloaded. I don't know what that. I did things. I did a preset change, but I don't know. I don't know what it means. Okay, what was I doing? They look like they're posing for like a freaking album cover right here. Look how cool they look. Straight album cover vibes. All right, I was looking this. I was looking for the third thing that I was supposed to shoot at. Oh. It's not out here, right? Like, unless it is? Do I need to come and look back over here? I don't really know. I feel like there's nothing here I'm missing, correct? Or no? I feel like, I don't know. I don't see anything else other than, like, the fact that this has a light here and is making me want to go this way makes me feel like there's supposed to be something over here and I'm missing, obviously, if it had me go up there. Because I didn't see anything up there. But obviously, right? Oh, I hear someone coming. I hear Tiago coming, maybe. Wait, what's this? Oh, that's just literally the thing that came up. Uh-huh.
Just things changing your bitrate to 4500, which is like 720p
quality.
Should fix the lag issue, and then the chat thing should be fixed by restarting your stream.
Ah, well, shit. I can't just restart my stream. Wait, where's my...
I know that's easier said than done.
Where did my mouse go?
I'm just passing information.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's so far behind. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Okay, my stream is like hella far behind. I am seeing this. Oh, wait. Wait. What bitrate again? I'm trying to fix some stream stuff because it's like really super delayed. And I'm so sorry. 500. Apply. Okay. Okay. Okay, the spots tissue should be able to be seen from the big bubble. Okay, well then... I'm just blind. Because I did the 2. Am I not seeing like an obvious third one somewhere? Just start shooting. What if I just start shooting? And I came in and I started shooting. I started shooting them all. Well then. What about... No, is that something? No, that's just the way the light is hitting that thing. Alright. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know the third one. And also, everyone is super lagged behind. Like, it's like hella crazy how far behind y'all are. According to when I looked at my stream on my other thing. Like, there's like... It's like super duper... behind somehow, and I'm so confused because the audio's accurate but the video's so behind. All right, I think that what would actually be best, because it is already 11:30 at night, that I probably should end stream, because it's already late, and also I'm having a lot of these random issues that are coming up all of a sudden at the end of stream. We've been pretty fine the whole time, so I need to like maybe do some research or learn some things about what's going on here. But tomorrow I'm hoping I can start stream a lot earlier, and then we will be like actually, and we can like play, you know, starting at, I don't know, like a 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock or something like that. I need to check some stuff with some people. That's what I was saying. I thought the higher up spot was the clue. Y'all can just tell me where the fuck it is. I mean, like, it's not really that big of a deal. It's not like this is like the most minor backseating for something that's so easy beansy. If someone knows where the fuck the third one is, just fucking tell me. Yeah, because I would assume that this is because this is here, because this is a clue. But if someone can just be like, oh yeah, go, it's to the left. Is it inside there? Inside a tent or something? I just figure I should be able to see it pretty... Oh wait, is that something? Oh my god. That was not obvious at all. That was not obvious at all. I just saw the shimmers behind there. Alright, well.
This will be useful.
I guess it was a good thing I looked again. Weapon. Alright, great, beautiful, wonderful. I'm gonna go to the little, go to the flag, and then we're gonna be there. And we're gonna end stream, because it's almost midnight, and I would like to, like, be somewhat reasonable with my hours. I don't want to fuck up my sleeping schedule crazy loco, you know? So... And there we go, right? That's all I need to do, and it does a savey save? That's not what it is. This button? This button? This button? This one? This one? This one? There we go. It was in the tent. It was in the tent. But yeah. Return to the title screen. Yeah, we're gonna finish up stream here, because stuff is getting a little wackadoodle crazy with the stream. Oh wait, I'm not putting that away. Things are getting a little wackadoodle with my settings and everything, and